If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing Weather Report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
Today in Nashville, sunny with a high near 96. Heat index values as high as 105. Southeast wind around 0 miles per hour. New rainfall amounts less than 1/10 of an inch possible.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. We start with a look back at our Cheatham County Main Street Media Awards. Finalists and winners clapped and congratulated one another throughout the morning. It is always a pleasure to join Ellen Gould when announcing our award recipients. Cheatham County, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure. Our next awards event is the Murray County Main Street Media Awards, and that is on May 10th. Stress and anxiety remain to be a significant concern for so many. Recently, Devon O'Day and John Dwyer sat down with mental wellness and communication coach Casey Cleckler. Coming up, their conversation and helpful suggestions on mental health awareness. Later on, Empowered Wellness owner Kiera Larkin shares some ways that we can be proactive in empowering ourselves and help to reduce our stress levels. But first, our headlines. In a 6-3 decision, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a Tennessee law banning minors from receiving transgender medical treatments. Tennessee's Attorney General, defendant in the case, celebrated the High Court's decision. The Attorney General says a bipartisan supermajority of Tennessee's elected representatives carefully considered the evidence and voted to protect kids from irreversible decisions they cannot yet fully understand. The FBI has settled litigation with the Tennessee newspaper owner in its previous refusal to release the manifesto written by the perpetrator of the March 2023 shooting at Covenant School. The FBI released 120 pages of the writings in April. As part of the lawsuit settlement, the agency will pay $86,000 in legal fees to the law firm. This settlement is a win for government transparency and efforts by real journalists to keep their government open and accountable, said Dan Liddington, deputy counsel for the law firm. 19 counties impacted by the severe weather and tornadoes between April 2nd through the 6th will receive public assistance. Governor Lee says that the state and local officials continue to provide critical support to Middle and West Tennesseans who face a long road to recovery. The Tennessee counties named in the major disaster declaration to receive FEMA individual assistance include Montgomery, Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Dyer, Hardeman, McNairy, Obion, and Wilson counties. We'll be right back.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
833.
Busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now I'm ready, guys.
Call 775-7833.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
Being in Tennessee, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible, so we have an entire section of our menu that is just dedicated to local whiskeys like Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, Nelson Brothers, Greenbrier whiskey, and all of our taps are all local. From 2 o'clock until midnight, we've got food every day for you guys. a good handful of appetizers, some entrees, and a couple salads and things like that. My name is Ethan Kanata. Please come down and see us at the Pick Lobby Bar here at the Omni in Nashville.
It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're talking about all sorts of things, about self-care and things like that, just betterment. And we've got a lot of great guests.
We really do. And what's important about this is it's just a tough time. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going through stuff. So let's focus on this.
Yes, and I believe, now sometimes I'm not as a firm a believer in therapy for me. It did not work for me as well as a life coach. And guess who we have on our show today?
Good segue.
Because I believe very strongly in life coaches, and I got to spend yesterday with this young lady, with the Source group of ladies who are going into the Hall of Fame. Casey Cleckler is with us. How are you, Casey?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, good to see you. So, explain on your business card, because I don't know if it fits on one.
I know, it's
do you
a
know
lot
what a
of
business
words.
card is?
I do. I promise.
What would it say?
Well, I say that I'm a mental wellness and communication coach, and I work with predominantly people in the music business, usually business owners or artists, their crews and bands. And I've been in the music business for about 20 years at this point, and I kind of help people behind the scenes making touring a little more sustainable and supportive.
Well, people really discount what 2020 did to our entertainers, but mental wellness was a thing and is a thing continuing on, because that fear of this happening and your livelihood, imagine your livelihood completely being taken away. You can't do what you do to make a living.
It's so true. Yes. I mean, I definitely see a lot of the things that we all experienced and a lot of burnout and high stress. But I think there's a lot of unique challenges in our business in terms of, I think there is an epidemic of isolation. People might not understand your weird life when you're in the music business. But I think there's also, a lack of privacy and sometimes even like a fatigue of compassion. If people at a meet and greet are just always telling you, this song means so much to me, there's a lot of depth to what that takes out of people. And so there is a lot of support needed, and the support personnel, crew, and artists, and really business owners as well. We all have the same crazy hours, no sleep. And so there is a lot of support needed there.
So, and a lot of these careers are without a net, and because everything rocks, and everybody thinks, the pandemic, it's not over. We're just seeing waves. I run a nonprofit that helps kids graduate, and we're still seeing the DNA of that. And also anxiety, not only depression, but sorry, you didn't. I put my phone away because I listened to everybody here, and you didn't. But this is an issue too.
It is.
And so just speak to not only depression, but people are just uptight.
It's true. There is just a level of stress that I think COVID illustrated for us, and we're still, like you said, figuring out what to do with it. We lost a huge part of our working personnel coming out of COVID, because I think people realized, I can be home and I can be with my family, and maybe that stress could be less for me. And so the people that have remained ended up having actually probably double the work that they had before. And so there is a level of stress that we're really working to sort of mitigate in a lot of ways.
Another aspect of what you cover is addiction and recovery, because that also started rearing its head. It's always been in the entertainment business, because it's just a tough business, so you went and got you studied, and where did you study this? I think it's really cool.
The Worldwide Coaching Fed. It was a place where you could go and really hone in on skills that would specifically address that. And because I was working so much on tour, it felt like I was encountering a lot of it, and I wanted to help people with the right kind of coping mechanisms to kind of work through that. And it is, I was just sharing with someone earlier, it's kind of a really common coping mechanism is to lead into drinking or something like that really either gives you a dopamine hit, just like being on stage, or kind of dealing with the fractures in relationships that might happen. And so we work on really trying to find healthier ways to move through our world than those things.
Your company is called Cape and Anchor.
It is indeed.
And you deal with people other than just entertainment too, don't you as well?
Mm-hmm.
If they run a business, something like that.
Yeah, anybody who is kind of in a creative space, really, my coaching works in that.
How do they get in touch with you?
You can go to capeandanchor.com or Cape and Anchor on Instagram, and you can find all my information there. Absolutely.
Good deal.
Well,
Yeah.
Casey, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
It's
for having me.
Find the help. If you are struggling and you need help, the first thing is finding the help that you need and reaching out. And maybe you've tried traditional therapy for years, but a life coach will give you some tools that maybe you missed in therapy. And that's where Casey comes in.
Yeah.
Capeandanchor.com. Check it out.
Don't have to be in crisis to need support. So, reach
Good
out.
reminder. Yeah, you don't have to don't hit rock, just
Yeah.
hit mid-level and
Absolutely.
then call.
Yeah.
Like you. Thank you, Casey.
On the Lionel line, you're the boss. Tell Mom and Dad you want a Lionel electric train.
Times may have changed, but the commitment to producing quality Lionel trains has remained. For 125 years, Lionel has been creating lasting memories with the world's best model trains. The 2025 anniversary catalog is now available. Just visit lionelnashville.com. The Lionel Train Store is conveniently located at Opry Mills, right in your backyard. So whether you visit the website or stop by the store, join us in celebrating 125 years of cherished memories today.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it. But it's everywhere. Illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region...
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome back. So what can we do to help with our stress and mental clarity? Empowered Wellness owner Kira Larkin has some tips for us this morning.
Journaling is a big thing. I am such a big advocate for journaling. One, it gets all of the feelings and emotions that you have bottled up that you may not be able or may not be ready to talk to someone about. It gives you that opportunity to at least get it on paper and get it out of your system. And then you can always come back to it, especially as you progress in your journey and be like, wow, the way that I used to think or feel, I no longer feel that way. And it's kind of a win. That's something that you can see as you progress. Another thing is just finding at least 30 minutes in the day to get outdoors. Whether it's walking, biking, running, like whatever it is, just find at least 30 minutes to be outside, getting fresh air. It's really good for mental clarity and also good for fitness. Eating. Cutting out a lot of the sugars and processed foods. That's something that is easily done. I don't know how much we spend as Americans on processed foods. So one of the biggest things I tell people is the outside aisles of the store. Focus on the outside aisles of the grocery store when you shop, because that's where the freshest produce and meat and things that are less processed are going to be. Another wonderful thing that I like is keeping like a little video diary. So if you're not one to journal, just making little videos that you can come back and look at, I think is very important, because you can see your own mental health and clarity. You can see like when you were at your kind of lowest or depressed or stressed state, and as you progress through that and you find that happiness and that joy, you can see that through film, and it really just helps you with your mental clarity and just being a happier, healthier version of yourself.
Kira, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us here at Mornings on Main Street. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.